Hello my friends, my name is Linda Dolke and I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up in Australia, and today we're going to be making this cute little card. Get a cute look at it. I made this one with the Sweet Little Stockings set of products, which features some gorgeous stamps and some dies in our current mini catalogue. I think you'll find that this is a pretty easy card to make. However, you'll notice that I did actually choose in the end to leave out the ribbon that I had cut previously to go on there, but I decided not to use it in the end. Instead, I added some little gems up here on top of the holly, which I thought was cute. So I hope you'll enjoy as we make this card together today. Hello there friends, today we're going to be making a cool little card and I'm using some products from our latest mini catalogue. Now the products that we're using are part of the Sweet Stockings suite today, and so you can see they've got some great little samples here on page 30 of the current catalogue, just cute. And here are the stamps, and there's matching dies, and there's some other great things. We're going to use the paper today and we're going to have a bit of fun. So here is the stamp set. And here are the dies, okay? The stamps, there's 22 stamps in the set, so it's quite a sizable set, and there's 22 dies. So those seem to match up, don't they? But actually, not all the images have dies, and there are dies that are standalone. For example, this big kind of tag, or it could be, it could be a number of things. It could be a gift tag, but it also, in the case of today's card, we're going to use it more as a banner. So you can see there are little bits in here that match some of the stamps, but there's also some things that match other things. So this die here and the different stocking dies do have matching stamps in the stamp set. So hopefully you can see this. So you can see that this one's going to match this big one. But there's also matching paper in this set, and we're going to be using some of these today. They also match the 3 different sizes of stockings in the paper. So you have a choice. You can stamp and colour and then cut out with your dies, or you can just cut it out of the paper. So that's what I'm actually going to do today. I'm going to use the paper, but I'm also going to use some of the stamps. So let's get started and see how we go. Move this out of the way and bring in my pieces. So I've got some bits and pieces here, using some different elements in the suite and a couple of extra things. I've got a basic white card base that I have folded in half and used a bone folder just to flatten down my edge and set that aside. And then I've got some card front size pieces. So I've got a piece of Pool Party here, and this is a piece of the paper as well. It's got this beautiful little like cross-hatch design on one side in Pool Party, and on the back it's got some really cute Christmas lights. So I'm actually going to be using, for my background, I'm going to be using this size. So I want to put my adhesive on the reverse and pop this on. So if you're following along with me, you can just pause this video anytime you need to so that you can keep up or catch up with where I'm at. So that's a bit of fun. This is just a really fun set. I have really enjoyed using it. Here's a tag I made another time with it. So these are a couple of the stockings from the papers as well, and you can see I've used some of the other elements as well. But really, really super cute. So today what I wanted to do is I want to have this piece sitting here like a banner, like I said, and I'll be popping that up on dimensionals. But first of all, I'm going to create a bit of a background. So I'm going to, this is the reverse of this paper. I thought I'd have the little Christmas lights showing, and I've also got some cork paper here. Now the cork paper is from a different suite. I just love the cork paper. I'm really, really taken with it, and I keep using it on all kinds of things. And then I've also got a piece of just gold foil. You can use any shiny paper you like, or any paper you like really. I did also give some thought to maybe using another piece of the paper, which is from a different sheet in the paper pack, but I'm still not 100% decided. Let's see how we go. I'm going to pop this on first, and I'm going to have it just down here towards the bottom, maybe a little lower, and I'm going to line that up with the sides. And then I've got my cork paper. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm going to put the seal or whatever adhesive you're using on the back of that. So what I think you'll find if you're using these dies is how easy they are to use. It's just a super cute set. So now I get to decide, do I prefer the paper or do I prefer the gold? Big decision actually. I'm going to try the paper. Let's see how that goes. So this is just a different sheet again from the paper pack. And do I want more of the cork showing or more of the other? Let's go with that. And then when I've used a piece over the edge like that, I just cut this off in line, and same again on the reverse, the other side. And there we go. Our pieces are ready. Okay, so that's my background done. You can see how it's kind of coming together. Now we need to do our stocking. And like I said, I'm going to be using the paper for this. And just got to decide which stocking I prefer. So do I want the blue stocking, the medium size one here, or do I want this longer red and green stocking? It's a tough decision actually. Maybe I'll go with the smaller one. So this is the medium sized die. So let's grab that one out. That's this one here. And I'm going to run this through my machine. So because because I'm using my small mini cut and emboss machine, I'm actually going to cut out around this shape just to make it easier to get in there. Obviously, this is why we need dies, because we can do a much better job of cutting when we're using our die. So I'm just going to bring in my mini cut and emboss machine. Here it is here. And I'm going to open it up. And we have plate number 1. All the plates are numbered, so it tells you really what order to put them down, which is just fantastic. Then plate number 2. Then I'm going to put my stocking. I hope you can see this okay. And I'm going to put my die on top. And I'm going to cut around that. Makes it very easy and quick, especially if you've got, I mean, these are not too bad to cut, these shapes. But if you have very intricate shapes, dies just make it so much easier than doing all that cutting work. I'm just going to push this through. And it goes through very, very easily. We'll wind it through, and then I take this off. And let's have a little look. And my stocking is perfectly cut. All right, now this one is going to go here just like that. And it's going to be hanging on an angle as if it was hanging from this little loop here. And what I want to do with it, I'm actually going to move it down a little bit, is I actually want to have, I've got a piece of paper here and I've got my stamp set, and I'm going to have this little pussycat, because we have, for those of you who don't know, we have cats. Those of you who do know, know that we have a small ginger cat and a very large black and white big boy cat. And both of them are totally big sooks. They're so spoiled, totally. So I'm going to use Memento Black for this, and I'm just going to ink it up, my little pussycat stamp. I have to say, this cat on this stamp looks more like my little ginger boy than it does like the black and white boy. In fact, it looks quite like him. He's only a kitten. He's very, very naughty. He's into everything. In fact, I had to shut him out of the room before I did this video. All right, now it's actually easier to color this in while it's still attached before we cut it out. And yes, there's a die for that. So we'll be using this little die here to cut out our pussycat in just a minute. And that just saves us having to worry about all that fussy cutting. So for this one today, I could use blends, which would work quite well, or I could use watercolors. So really either will do the trick. But let's try with our blends and see what kind of colors we can get. So I've got pale papaya, and I also, that's the dark pale papaya, those two colors. And then we have a light pumpkin pie, and I've also got some dark and light calypso coral here. So let's have a little play and see which ones are going to look good. I'm going to start with I'm going to start with the dark pale papaya, and let's see if we can get this little boy to look cute. So the name of our cat is Crumpet, and you know, since we gave him that name and he has a bit of white on his face, so I should have left a little bit more white around his mouth, but that's okay. I'm just going to use my darker color and come up here. Now he has some beautiful stripes on his head, so I'm deciding whether or not I could get a little bit of strikiness going on, maybe with the calypso coral. So maybe, I'm not sure if that works or not. Maybe a bit darker. Bit of an experiment. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to use my dark pale papaya, this one, to try and blend that in a little bit. That's the good thing about blends. They do blend beautifully, and as the name suggests, and they're very easy to use. All right, now I'm going to use my dark color for his ears. Actually, I'm just thinking too, he's got sort of white paws, so I won't color all of those in. And let's go with a bit of the calypso coral around his ears as well. There we go. He's kind of cute. Cute, right? So now we're going to run this one through our through our cut and emboss machine. You know what? We haven't had the Big Shot for a couple of years now, and I still say Big Shot instead of cut and emboss machine. But that's okay. They did do the same job. So let's run this through and pop this on here like this. So my plates are not quite flat anymore, and I need to be a bit careful when I put them in. That's better. Now we push, and in it goes. And just save myself several minutes of trying to cut that out perfectly. There he is. All right, very, very cute. We'll put our pussycat back in. Now, the cool thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stocking on here, and then my pussycat is going to go just over the top here, and he's going to look like he's popping out with his little paws. So I'm actually I am going to use dimensionals under both. Definitely I would want, even if the bottom was going on flat, I would want this little guy on dimensionals. I'm deciding whether I put him on a double layer. And I want this down a little bit because I want to put potentially a ribbon at the top, so that's why I'm making sure that he's not too high. Otherwise I'd have him higher up. So let's try a dimensional underneath and then popping him. The other thing you could do is add an extra dimensional. I don't normally do this, but in this case I think that might be cute. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. Oh, he's cute. All right, so now I've got this piece here, and I'd like this to go here, and I'm deciding whether or not maybe he is actually too high up there for me to add my ribbon. Maybe I'll add my ribbon further down. Now this ribbon is cherry cobbler and gold metallic ribbon. Yeah, I was going to add the ribbon at the top, but now I'm not. So I'm wondering, I might move him up a tiny bit. You can see that this is a work in progress. I'm still deciding where things should go. Move it up a little bit. And then just like this. That's better. Just like that. And then I may have a ribbon down below. Let's see. I've also got this white strip of paper that I've just cut my pussycat out of. And I'm also going to add my greeting to that. So Here's the cherry cobbler. Now, cherry cobbler is one of the colours that's featured in the paper. It's this red here, which is why we can get away with it in our word. And I'm just going to pop this. It says very merry. I just want that to go onto the white. And I'm using my double oval punch, and I'm just going to slide this in so I can see it here behind. And I want that to be centered. So this is going to end up down the bottom here. Now, I do still want to use a little bit of gold. Remember I had that bit of gold? So I'm actually thinking that this one here might be nice to add a little bit of gold, because I feel like it needs, in addition to the ribbon which is shiny, I feel like it needs a little bit of some more shine. So I'm going to grab my gold foil, and we're going to use just a little bit of that here. And let's see how this looks. See, just a little bit of gold foil coming from behind. I think that's rather nice. All right, so let's put a couple of dimensionals behind this. The other thing is, I think maybe a little bit of an edge on this oval would be nice. So I'm going to grab myself a little bit of a sponge dauber, and I've got one here. And I'm going to bring in some Pool Party, because that's the same colour here as behind. We could also add some of the other colours. You know, you could use the perhaps the older olive, which is in that paper there. That would also work. But I'm hesitant to ever edge everything. I very rarely edge in red, because in my experience, edging in red doesn't always end well. It looks a bit like you bled around the edges of your whatever it is that you're sponging, and I just think sometimes that doesn't give a nice look. So I tend to not edge. Take the backs off. That will actually be much better. All right, looking good. And then let's add a couple of dimensionals behind here as well, because we can, right? So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take the backs off. And we're going to pop that here like a banner coming down from the top over here on the left hand side, just like that. Now this little guy here, I'm going to add him. So it's a really simple little card, but it's a fun way to show you how some of these components in this great little stitched stocking suite go. I mean, it's such a cute little suite. Now I'm going to attach this, also turn the whole thing over, and either use seal or maybe use Tombow, which is our multi-purpose glue. I find the Tombow is really good for putting card bases together, because it's quick, as you can see, but also because it's a liquid glue, it stays wet, so you can actually make sure you're in position before you have to commit. So I can put this down and then kind of wriggle it into the right spot, and you can only do that with liquid glue. So I do like it for that. There we go. We have a cute little card. One other thing I probably would like to do, and I haven't yet, but also in this set here, is this super cute little, there's some little foliage, like this little holly, which looks really cute, and little green foliage, and I'm going to pop those in the in here as well, so they'll come out from behind. You can see when I did this tag earlier that I had a couple of little bits here, the foliage and the holly, and that looks really cute. And also added some little cherry cobbler gems, which I think look really nice. So here you go, guys. Cute little card. I hope that you'll enjoy that, and be back to see more of what I get up to in my next video. And for those of you who are around, I'm live here every Sunday night. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.